Honorable Men Discord. Let's talk Ayesha Curry.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new, I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have an opinion to share pertaining to this episode, I'll see you in the comment section. So, it was a wild weekend, by the way. Let me just say something real quick. At the end of this month, I'm going to have about 5 to 6 videos, but definitely 5, featuring a club, off-road 4x4 club that I was introduced to. And I'm going to post videos from gentlemen that are part of the club. The club is primarily comprised of about maybe up to 200 members, or just a little bit less than that. But I want you all to look out for those videos at the end of this month. All right. That's the reason for this late drop. Normally I have this video already dropped and prepared for today, but because I was on the road driving to New Jersey to capture some video for your entertainment, it set me back a little bit, but it was worth it. I met some great men, and I believe you'll enjoy the videos that I put together of them talking about their experience being part of the club, and them talking about their vehicles and the things that they did to their vehicles. Some had their vehicles, they left it stock, but many of them, they added different components to their vehicle. But let's get back to Ayesha. All right. So I was talking to a colleague of mine, and I'm always looking for interesting topics, because I did not want to talk about death. All right. Sometimes you just have to take a time out. Even, by all means, I know other content creators, they may not feel the same way I feel, but it comes a point in time when the conversation about death is a real downer. By the way, rest in peace to those that perished in, I want to say, Tennessee. They said 18 in the explosion. Very, very, very sad situation. But we're talking about Ayesha Curry right now. So the reason why I'm talking about Ayesha Curry is because this is a conversation about women that are unappreciative of the things that their men do for them. Okay, so this is not all women, but this is about some women that are unappreciative about what their men do for them, because there's a group of women that say they want a provider, right? And I think it's fair to say there's a large group of women that want a provider. I think it's safe to say there's a large group of women that say they want a provider. But for some women, they get the provider, and depending on the way the man's providing, it becomes an issue. For example, for some women, if they date a man that's a doctor, a lawyer, a businessman that has to travel, they like the fact that man could provide, but they don't like the fact that his occupation causes him to not give her the time that she desires. You see where I'm going with this? So the man clearly could provide, so they'll never have a discussion with their friends about him not being able to provide. But they don't like the fact that they're home alone by themselves a lot. And that becomes a problem. Because make no mistake about it, gentlemen, women like being with men that they could brag about to their friends. And by all means, if there's any female watching this episode, females out there, women, I don't want to say females. If there's women out there watching this episode, correct me if I'm wrong. You like to be able to talk about your man in high regard, right? But what you don't like is when you get serious with that man, settle down with that man, that fantasy of that man being home 24/7 with the kids, helping out around the house, that fantasy disappears because that man is busy to be able to allow that time with the kids, allow the nice home, the nice cars, the all the things you could think of, the furniture in the house, your dream bed with the dream headboard, and so on and so forth. The dream dining table, the dream kitchen cabinets, the dream tiles, the dream bathroom, the his and her sinks, all the bells and whistles that some women desire in life, right? But the problem is, when we're talking about Ayesha Curry, it seems as though she's ungrateful. I think it's safe to say she's ungrateful, and I'm going to tell you why I believe she's ungrateful. I believe she's ungrateful because your husband is successful, you want for nothing, but yet you feel the need to go on different platforms and indirectly speak poorly about him. Now, she was on the pod, I believe it's a podcast. Don't check me on this, all right? And I had to jot it down. Call Her Daddy. She was on the podcast or show called Call Her Daddy by Alex Cooper. And I jotted this down because I want to be correct for those of you that, may feel the need to jump in the comments and say, oh, it's not a podcast. I never said I watched it. All right. I'm not up on this particular show, Call Her Daddy, with Alex Cooper. Right. But it said that she said some things about the fact that she wanted to be a career woman. She really didn't want to be married. And to me, I would assume it's a slap in the face to the women that want to be married and haven't found that one that's willing to drop to a knee and marry them. And then it's a slap in the face to the women who married a man that they thought would turn out to be something, and he did not turn out to be what they expected, because that happens too. That's a whole nother story, situation. I'm not here to speak on men that don't live up to the standard of what the women was looking for in their lives. But again, it seems like she needs to slight him at every possible moment. And for what reason? For what reason? It comes across as if she's spoiled, right? It comes across as if she's spoiled. And again, it's a slap in the face to the women that are out there that are not married and are looking for someone to marry them, much less someone that could provide on the level that Steph Curry could provide. I don't think she understands the damage she's doing to her marriage by speaking like this. I don't even know if Steph Curry he condones this. I don't know if he's actually saying, I don't mind. And maybe he's like that. Maybe he doesn't mind. But just understand that it can eventually affect your relationship with that man, because it makes him feel like, well, what else am I supposed to do to make you happy? And this is why I'm not a big subscriber to that old saying, happy wife, happy life, because it makes it seem as though you put your all into the woman. I'm not saying you don't protect your woman, you don't provide for your woman, but it's no one's responsibility to make the other person happy. You both should come into and that's for men and women. You both should come into that relationship with good energy, ambition, goals. You should meet each other. You should complete each other where one is weak. You should uplift each other, but you guys should both be pushing each other forward. It should never be, I'm not a fan of that saying. And if you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree with me in the comments. As always, be elaborate as to why you're disagreeing. But it should always be a joint goal, a joint venture. Unions, relationship, especially marriage, is a joint venture, and both participants should participate in the outcome. Period. All right. Now, we could speak on whether or not the man should fully provide for the woman. If the man can, I agree with that. But that doesn't mean that the woman doesn't add in some capacity to the man's effort. Okay. I disagree with the notion of a man fully providing and then the woman is just she's not cooking, she's not cleaning the household and things of that nature. I think, you know, the man, if he's providing fully, I believe he should be able to come home and you know, the house is clean, you know, the kids are taken care of. Because if he's working hard and he's able to pay for all these things and you're able to just, you have no worries, I think that's an even fulfillment from on the woman's part. But again, to stay on track with Ayesha Curry, excuse me, I just feel like she's ungrateful. And in the platform that she went on, again, call her daddy. One, I have an issue with the name of that platform because it kind of reminds me of when women on Father's Day say Happy Father's Day to other women. What do you mean by call her daddy? I'd like to know what is what influenced, what inspired that title. Only Alex Cooper knows. If any of you actually watched that show, let me know if she ever mentioned why she calls it Call Her Daddy. But it just, I personally just don't like the title of the show. I'm not saying the show is bad. I'm not saying it's good. The title, you know, for Ayesha Curry to go on a show called Call Her Daddy, it seems like she's on a campaign to just, again, indirectly but directly tear Steph Curry down by the things that she's saying. Why does she feel the need to do that? And based on what my colleague mentioned to me, it seems as though like she has regret about the direction of her life, because with kids, being married, she never wanted to be married. I believe she disclosed on that show. And it's like, well, she wanted to be a career woman. So is she basically saying if she could do it all over again, she'd rather be a career woman? See, the thing about, I challenge Ayesha Curry, because the thing about that is, then if you didn't have the kids, you didn't have a successful husband, and you're a career woman, I challenge her on what she said on that show, because I honestly believe at some point in time she would be miserable, because she wouldn't want to, even if she's a career woman, she wouldn't want to have to pay for everything herself. She wouldn't. And by all means, if you're a career woman watching this episode, would you rather be a career woman, or would you rather a man on the level of being able to provide as Steph Curry, being able to take care of you? And you could still pursue a passion without having the stress of whether or not the passion that you pursue fails or succeeds. It takes a load off of your mind when you know you have a husband that can provide on that level. And I don't see why she speaks as though like her life is over. If I'm not mistaken, Ayesha Curry is 36 at the time of this recording. So her life is not over. It sounds as though she's speaking as if, like, you know, she's soon to be a grandparent. And here's the facts, right? So she has 2 girls and 1 boy. Riley's 13, Ryan is 10, and I believe it's Cannon, the boy, is 7. All right. First of all, when you have a husband that has that type of financial access, you can have babysitters. You could still pursue a dream if you're Ayesha Curry. And the reason why I'm bringing these things up is because you don't need to go on a platform to speak about what you would have liked, you know, or what you weren't really trying to be married. What is the point of saying that to the world? Why does the world need to hear that? Does she have a book coming out? And even if she has a book, did you need to say that? Is that necessary? Listen, I just feel like she's ungrateful. I feel she's ungrateful, and it should be a testament for those of you men watching this episode. Just make sure in whatever you do, I'm not here to play a relationship expert, because I'm not. Men, whatever you're passionate about, I don't care what it is. I really don't care what it is. I don't care if you want to pick up boxing. I don't care if you want to learn martial arts. I don't care if you want to pick up swimming. If you want to learn a trade, just go for it, and don't let the person that you're involved with be the reason why you're doing it. So if you're taking up boxing because you want to be a professional boxing to one day be the champion so that you could make the woman in your life happy, that's not the reason why you should be doing any of these things. You should be doing it because it fulfills you, and in turn, the woman that you're involved with should be supportive of you, right? It should never feel like you're doing it to make her happy, because that woman, her emotions could change. One minute she could be happy that you're doing what you're doing. Next minute she could be speaking about your existence as if you're the reason why she's not happy. You understand? Everyone should be responsible for their happiness. Again, no matter if you're married or you're in a relationship, in a serious relationship, everyone should be bringing something to the table, and you guys both should be complimenting each other, pushing each other forward. But neither one of you, no man or no female, should be speaking about the other person as though they held them back. Be accountable for your life and the decisions you make, both men and women. Be accountable for your decisions. Have no regrets about the decisions you make. Make sure the decisions you're making is because you're saying to yourself, that's what I wanted to do. But never say someone else told you back. All right. And it seems like she's speaking as though, like, you know, she would have preferred a different direction. And if I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about that. Let me know in my comments. But that's how it seems like it's coming across. And this is not the first time she's had this type of conversation about her life and Steph Curry. I think she's even going as far as saying that she was somewhat jealous of the fact that he's so sought after because of his celebrity being a top basketball player. And even that is disgusting. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone who's jealous of you. That's another thing. You both should be compliment each other. So if your woman is doing well, you should praise her for doing well. If she's looking good, praise her for doing well. In turn, she should do the same for you. But it should never be something where your woman is secretly despising your success. Something to think about. But that's all I have on this topic. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. This channel is about sharing thoughts. You know, again, the Discord doesn't mean you have to agree with what I'm saying. Doesn't mean that I have it right. You might point out something to me and enlighten me on something. But that's my take on this. That's my take on Ayesha Curry. What's your thoughts? Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And again, look out for those episodes that I'm going to queue up at the end of this month. Probably around the 22nd or the 23rd of this month. I'm going to put back-to-back videos about that 4x4 off-road club. And the only reason why I didn't mention the name is because it's not a name I easily remembered, because it's a unique name, and you'll hear the name, and I don't want to butcher the name because I have respect for the club. I have respect for the founder of the club, JR. Very, very nice gentleman, and I like what the club represents. So look out for that towards the end of the month. I'm going to have them back to back to back. Like I said, it's going to be about 5 short episodes, nothing too long, 5 to 6 episodes. So look out for that. But as always, stay honorable.